Dear colleagues, what I, what I keep repeating and I keep receiving the same answer is that one should really go through all the material in the digital method. And I warn the coaches that take the digital method coaching program that uh, it has a lot of homework. As you probably expect, most people don't really believe that, so they don't really do their homework. So until we go to the middle of the course, they say, "Oh, uh, now I understand that I should have studied a lot more." Now, watching the video with you, the two videos for the method and the methodology, I understood quite clearly that it is both a blessing and a curse that we have so much material and I have published so many papers, which, however, one must study in great depth in order to understand these notions. Because when I say them, because I have worked a lot on them, for me they're obvious, and I think maybe that they're obvious for others. But then today, as I watch the videos again after so much time, I realized that okay, someone must also do the homework and read and study the material, um, because the digital method is the only school that ever existed in tennis, and this is something that one cannot just reject because they don't like the idea. It's something that one should go through the material and see for themselves that this is the case. So, this is the process we are in right now, we're going through right now. We're going through the material. Have you grasped, have you understood the two videos about method and methodology? This is the first question, and the second question is, do you have any questions? Who wants to
Yes, we
speak?
understand that if you want to practice some athletes, you have to have a plan, and you have the domi, as you said on the video, and with this, you can passing this road to training your athletes or something more.
Okay. Who wants to add something on this, to this?
Well, if I may add something else, I see that on these first two videos, it's you start to explain that how to structure and how to put everything into place, and before doing anything else, it's about having the methodology and the idea, the abstract idea that you need in order to start training an athlete, let's say in tennis.
Okay. If you were to ask a question or a clarification, what would that be about method and methodology?
You have to have a plan for every level of your athletes. It's an amateurs, adults, young children, uh, for everyone. Correct.
So we have in epistemology the method of episteme, which is the double pair of analysis synthesis and abstraction structure. So what you gain with this is that you have many more models than you will actually need. So the answer more or less to your question is that not only will you have or should you have many programs or as many as the cases, but you should have even more and be able to choose from them. So the
Okay, it's a
abstract,
method to improve your athletes for sure, but you can have not the same plan for everyone, but you change it between the ages of your children or an adult training.
yes, the analytical method will make it possible that you will have much more cases, theoretical ones, though, than the actual real ones. So one should understand that, and this is a bit, let's say, too much for a tennis program, but it is necessary if someone wants to create a school or a paradigm, because these are things that not even scientists have understood, because they are classical epistemology, and many people simply don't know epistemology. So the thing is that if you want to make theory about something, you have to know how to make theory. And if you know how to make theory, you are able to have generators, theoretical ones, that produce cases. And you have criteria which you on your own put, that you may choose from those cases the ones that suit you best. We will see such generators, okay? So one should be equipped with such tools so that they are able not only to make all kinds of different exercises, for example, or adaptations, but also be able to choose the right ones and do this in a holistic way. And again, I repeat, we are in the method and the methodology, and what we're saying at this level is a bit abstract, but we are at the abstract level right now. So what I have done more or less is that I'm trying to explain something that exists only in Greek language, and this is no accident, that we have four things, δομή, δομική, δόμηση, δόμημα, whereas this has been lost in Latin-derived languages, and this is a crime. This is a crime against humanity, and it affects everything from quantum mechanics to tennis. Okay, also tennis, anything that you want to produce theory about. So what I do next, after explaining what each term means, is I make a correspondence between these terms and another line of thought that says that I must start from somewhere and go to somewhere and find the relations among those terms. So I start from what is the most basic idea or concept I start from. It's the sensorial, it's the sensory feeling, it's what we sense. Okay, and this is global. So this is very important because I have a vantage point, I have a point of reference. Because when I say push, this is the same for everyone. When I say hot, this is the same for everyone. Now, what I don't know is how each and every one of us experiences hotness. And this is a feeling. Okay, this is the personal feeling. This is something personal. It's an adaptation and has to do with how each person has, for example, their nervous system organized. And now this feeling is also at the next stage transformed or related to an emotion. Because when something is hot, okay, I feel something on my hand, okay, which is a personal experience, and then I feel an emotion. For example, I feel well or I feel bad, and maybe I feel well and you feel bad, and that's an emotion. So because movements produce senses, trigger our senses, and senses trigger our feelings, and feelings trigger our emotions. If I want to have a holistic experience, I have to incorporate everything. So I have to have exercises, but I also have to use art or psychotherapeutical tools because of the feelings, because I want to unify, to have a unified and a holistic experience, which includes emotions, either I like it or not. Okay. And another line of thought says that, okay, I have this ideal archetype, which is technique, which is just diagrams on paper, where I have free-form diagrams, forces, angles, and so on and so forth. And when I apply this to a human body, then I have the form. And when this human body trains for a long period of time, then this form becomes a style, a personal style. But this style has come from form. And either I use form or style, I produce skills. And skills are like forehand and backhand, they are movements, but isolated movements. And sequences of movements make up technique, make up tactics. Okay, and series of tactics make up strategies, and series of strategies make up life purposes, and so on and so forth. So somewhere there we have even spiritual connotations, which is very important. And at some point we have to touch them also. Or if you don't like the term spiritual, try philosophical, try ethical, try sociological. Okay, and we should consider this also because it's a school of thought or of action, and we want to make complete players, and we have to understand how everything uh, affects everything else. Okay, so is this clear?
Yes.
So the digital method has done.
Yes.
Yes.
The digital method has done two things. To cut a long story short, after this short presentation, the digital method has done two things. The first thing is to describe this process and these connections. And the second thing is provide tools for everything. I mean, if you want to go from form to style, if you want to develop form, if you want to study feelings, technique, everything, there is a tool, because it's a different thing to just describe that, okay, we just have that. And it's a completely different thing to say that, okay, I have this, and this tool to work with that. So this is why digital method is the golden standard, not only in tennis, of course, in expertise acquisition, and the tennis digital method is the golden standard in tennis learning. Do you have any thoughts on this, or any questions, or any whatever?
Well, one question that arose to my mind was, since every person have the same sensation about things, which, as you said, is a universal thing, and the feelings that derive from it are different from person to person, how can we work with so many different cases of expression of each sensation?
This is why you have to have psychotherapeutical tools, so that you can integrate all the feelings and all the emotions into a holistic experience. Okay, everyone has to work in their unique experience with their feelings, but you have to provide the context and the tools.
Okay.
So we have tools, which we will see in the next videos.
So what we're saying is that for each case, or for each for each situation that may arise, we have a different or specific tool to deal with it, and to treat a person that's trying to learn tennis in a more holistic way, and yes, just that.
maybe you could give an example so that you could be more specific.
Let's say, like Spiros said, you try to teach a kid, and then you try to teach an adult. And because of their differences in age or physical capabilities or the way their brain functions, they will each derive at a different, let's say, you try to teach them the technique, and maybe the kid, because he's younger, he will be able to maybe absorb it better, or the adult will be, because of maybe some physical incapabilities due to age or something, it will be much difficult for them to learn or assimilate the form into their own style.
Okay, so we
For
have,
every,
yes?
sorry,
No,
for
please.
every as you train, you can find the solution and see how tools is he have and is he has, and you can make a highlight of them, so you can see how is he can to do all these things as you educate him. And I think that you can have not all the tools, but the highlights of the tools as he can do and as
Okay,
he can make on training.
okay. The idea is that you have many tools and you can
Mhm.
use many tools for one occasion, okay, and one case, and see which tool works better. For example,
Mhm.
the clock of the expert, which is a technique coming from theater pedagogy, is very suitable for children, but maybe it's not very suitable for adults. Okay, when trying to learn something or when trying to create an environment that is better for learning. Uh, and usually, the problem with adults as well is that they have much more neurotical behaviors than children. Even though, you know, as time goes on, the neurotical behaviors, the expression of the neurological behaviors is appearing to smaller and smaller ages. But what to do? This is the world we're in right now.
Yes, of
Uh,
course. If you start to teaching a young boy and young girl, they are like a sponge. You can you can
yeah, you can do the same with an adult, maybe.
yes, of course. But you can teach them the way that how they do better, and they are young kids, and you make them an athlete. They're coming as a strong adults or something else. Then neuromyelitis, narmogi,
Yes,
and
neuromuscular coordination.
Mhm. Yes.
Yes, well, what I also want to add is this. First of all, each tool you use may be an art in itself. How you even if it's a very simple technique like EMDR. Um, so as you grow in your knowledge and in your skills, you may be able to adjust this technique better to each individual. Okay, and all the techniques taught in the digital method program uh, can be courses, they can become courses on their own accord. Okay, for example, when we have a neurolinguistic programming for tennis, one can have a whole course about NLP applied to tennis, or about the models we have about technical uh, or physical improvement. So yes, on one hand, it's let's say it can be complicated. This process of applying a tool to each case. And yes, at some points you may not be able to apply a tool, and another coach may be able to apply the tool successfully, but that's okay. The second thing, and this is my objective mostly in this course, is that one should really understand that apart from being able to express the art of applying correctly a tool and a technique, that there should be a tool and a technique in the first place, because we will see how many tools there are out there and how many tools we provide in the tennis digital method, and that never existed before in tennis. So this is the main message of this course, that please people wake up. It's of imperative importance to at least know one tool for each occasion. Which occasions? We have described them in the abstract archetype, in Δομή. Okay. And yeah, you know, so that one will be able to at least understand this general idea that, okay, I should have tools. There's no other way I can progress without having tools. Is this clear to you?
Yes. Yes.
So,
For example, this is something that for me it's outrageous. When you learn something happens in your brain changes. Actually, really, when the teacher is like a neurosurgeon, the teacher affects your brain. So my question is, how can there be no technique when you learn something new that is not designed to help you assimilate what you have just learned? I mean, you learn something and then you just forget about it and go do something else. But that's unproductive. You have to have a technique to be able to better assimilate what you have just learned. That's the whole idea. But such techniques, nobody has even thought about using such techniques, but they do exist. For example, EMDR. And experts, because...
This is mechanics.
Sorry?
This is mechanics. If you do the same thing again and again and again.
Mechanics is called the application of the science of physics on the human body. What I'm talking about is neurophysiology, not mechanics.
Okay.
So, experts, because digital method comes from the science of exceptional achievement, from the study of expertise. Experts have been, for example, recorded to take recurrent naps during the day because they need to assimilate what they have thought of, what they have learned, what they have practiced, and so on and so forth. And where is that in tennis? Where is that in whatever else? I don't know. It's not about bulk practice only. It's not at all about it. Anyway, that's just.
Or as you say, if you cannot go to sleep, maybe there is a tool that you can use even at that moment to try to assimilate the knowledge you learned.
Yes, or if you want more energy, there are tools that you can build more energy on the spot without taking any supplements, for example.
Yes. So this is for me in a few words, it shows that learning, in particular, whether it's tennis or it's okay, let's just focus on tennis. It goes to show from these two videos that we just watched that it should be a holistic approach, because if we take the simple example that technique derives from tactics, which derives from strategy, which derives from a life purpose, it surely except from just learning
It doesn't
how to move.
it doesn't really derive. They have a relation, which
Yes,
is
yes,
it has it has both directions.
yes,
One
yes.
affects
So
the other.
it's yes, it's one is with the other, and it goes to show that it needs to be a holistic approach, or else it's not a complete approach. It just if if it goes one way and goes the other way, and it involves, let's say, a spiritual approach or a philosophical approach or a psychotherapeutic approach, it's of great need to be able to have these tools that we are talking about to develop athletes or human people in general.
And don't be like doctors that save the that cure the disease but don't save the patient and kill the patient. Okay,
Yes.
we have 4 more minutes. We don't need to reconnect. Just one phrase from each one of you.
Okay, it's very important to have a plan. It's very important to have a domain in your training. Your plans came around your athletes, your adults, your everything. And I don't know more.
Okay, Jason.
Yeah, um, I think it's correct doing some plans before every lessons. First of all, it's help for us to remember the methodology or the connection between the lessons. And I think it's really good to do every coach.
Okay, Hectora.
May we all start moving from a proximal to a more distal method.
I like that. Okay, so our discussion was a bit more theoretical and not how to structure a specific session, so to speak. Okay,